Hello students, this is Dr. Sunita Patnaik and we are going to start with our chapter of FY BSc Botany, Morphology. Morphology of vegetative parts. Let's begin the chapter. What is morphology? Morphology is the study of external features of plants, arrangement, relationship of organs. The underground part of flowering plant is the root system, while the portion above the ground forms the shoot system. So, there are two parts. So, morphology of the vegetative parts of the flowering plants is very essential to know the morphology of the plant organs such as root, stem, and leaves. And our today's session, we are going to study root and stem. Now the vegetative organs are root, stem and leaves. Root, stem and leaves together form the plant organs and they perform functions like fixation, absorption and conduction of water and minerals by roots, growth and development due to meristematic activities of the stem and synthesis of food material through the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. So let's study the morphology of root. Root grows underground and basically there are two types of root, primary and lateral root. Primary root formed directly from axis of embryo plant, lateral arises from the primary root. Basically taproot, fibrous root or adventitious root. There are two types, taproot system and adventitious root system. As we already know, there are different regions on the root which are very helpful for the absorption of water and minerals. And whether it may be any root, maybe taproot or adventitious root, the root has common function. So let's study about the types of root. So there is a comparison between taproot and adventitious root. Taproot is prominent in dicot. Fibrous root or adventitious roots are prominent in monocot. They develop from organs of shoot system. Tap roots, they have primary roots, grow and become stout, whereas adventitious roots develop from the lower nodes. Tap roots, secondary and tertiary, grow from primary root, whereas in fibrous roots all have same length and diameter. So this is the basic difference between taproot and adventitious root. The function of roots are common, anchoring the plant, absorb water and minerals from soil and storage. These are the three major functions of root. Types of modified roots. Let's study about modifications. Normal roots are well developed to perform their normal functions, but according to the need of the plants, structure of roots gets modified into some other forms as epiphytic root, parasitic root, nematophores, storage roots, etc. Let's study about the modified roots. Now storage roots like modified taproot and modified adventitious root. As you can see here, taproot are modified into fusiform, napiform and conical. Fusiform means when the underground taproot is swollen in the middle portion and gradually tapers towards the base and apex, like in case of radish. Conical root. A conical root is an underground taproot which becomes broad at the base and gradually tapers towards the apex like a cone, as in case of carrot. Napiform, when the underground taproot is swollen at the base, sharply tapering at the apex and becomes almost spherical in shape, then we call it napiform root, such as in beetroot or turnip. Modified adventitious root, we have sweet potato, ginger as fasciculated or nodulated. If in single node, then if it is a group, then we call it as nodulated. Fasciculated, example asparagus, nodulated ginger, and moniliform grasses. Let's study different modifications. Prop root. Prop root is observed in banyan tree. The branches give off roots that grow into the soil and support the branches. As you can see here, banyan tree has so many prop roots. Stilt root. In screw pine, short roots grow obliquely downward from near base of the stem. So, these are supporting the plants and it is known as stilt root. Climbing root. In climbers like pepper and betel nut, adventitious roots are formed at nodes which help in climbing. Epiphytic root. In vanda is an example of epiphytic root. The base of the tissue grows spongy tissue termed as velamen that absorbs moisture from the air. So it is not rooted into the soil and it is hanging in the air, gets moisture and nutrients from the air. So it is known as epiphytic root. Contractile root. In colocasia, they possess roots that contract, so underground roots are kept at proper levels. Floating root. In Juicea roots, which are white, spongy, filled with air, they help plants to float in water. So it is known as floating root. Breathing root. In Avicennia roots that grow into vertical branches and have openings called pneumatophores. Pneumatophores, they respire. Root aeration is possible because of the presence of pneumatophores. Reproductive root. The exposed roots of Murraya that have adventitious buds which grow into new plant. It is known as reproductive because it can grow into new plant. Parasitic root. In Cuscuta, Hausteria penetrate into the host stem and enter vascular bundle which absorbs minerals. So it is parasitic because it is depending on nutrition from another plant. Assimilatory root. In Trappa, adventitious roots with chlorophyllous tissue. Chlorophyllous tissue means they have chlorophyll pigment in them which helps in photosynthesis and preparation of its own food. Foliar root. Foliar is also a type of root. In Bryophyllum is a leaf. The roots arrive from lamina, petiole, veins. As you can see here, these parts are the reproductive parts which arise from the leaf. So it is a foliar root. Tubercular root. As in case of sweet potato, lateral roots are swollen and without any definite shape. Now coming to the stem. Stem grows erect, lifts the leaves, exposing them to sunlight, conducts material from the roots to leaves, and based on nature of stem, plants are divided into different strong stem, weak stem, creepers or trailer. So there are different types of stem depending whether they are aerial, underground or subaerial. Generally, stem are green when they are young. They may be strong or weak or delicate. They may be branched or erect or rigid. There are different types of stem. Now, what are the functions of stem? They support the leaves to maximize light absorption, part of conduction for transport of water and minerals and solutes, and also storage. So stem is an important part of the plant. Now study different modifications of stem. We'll begin with the underground modifications. Underground modifications of stem. Modifications perform various functions like storage of food, perennation, vegetative propagation, protection and photosynthesis. So modifications of the stem are classified on the basis of their structure, position and function. They are classified as aerial modification, subaerial modification and underground modification. As here we can see underground modification of stem like in bulb and rhizome. Bulb, as in case of onion, dry scale leaves tunicated, stem is small, reduced and disc shaped. In rhizome, as in case of iris, the rhizome grows horizontally elongated stem nature is evident from the cataphyls. This is again stem tuber and corm, another underground modification of stem. Stem tuber found in potato, where the aerial branch grows downward and stores food. Corm, as in case of Amorphophilus, stem is massive, swollen, held in position by contractile roots. Let's study the subaerial modifications of vegetative propagation, as in case of runner and stolon. In runner, as we see in strawberry, axillary buds from lowest leaves give rise to modified branches. In stolon, as in case, we can see they grow upwards like ordinary branches and arch down to the ground level. Subaerial modifications, like in case of sucker and offset, as in mentha and eichhornia. Let's study the aerial modifications of stem. Aerial modifications, as we can see in tendril in the form of cladophyll or phylloclad. Tendrils, as in grapes, the axillary bud is modified into tendril, which help in taking support. Cladophyll or phylloclad, where the entire shoot is flattened and leaf-like, and they may have spines, which are the modified leaves. Aerial modifications can also be observed in cladode and bulbil. Cladode, where the branch of the single internode is flattened, and bulbil we can see small nodule-like structures as in case of Dioscorea. Thank you.